Hello everyone, welcome to Tuesday's Transformational Tip. My name is Kimberly, and every Tuesday I like to come on here and share tips, tricks, practices, and perspectives that I have learned all along my journey that I wish I had 10 years ago. And so I promised myself I would give them to you too. So that is what I'm doing today. And today I wanted to talk about something called forgiveness. It's a great topic, right? I didn't think so 10 years ago. For me, I found forgiveness incredibly difficult, and you probably feel very similar, until I realized that forgiveness is not something that we can just go in and do with our minds and just make it happen. It's something that happens as a result of going inside and acknowledging, accepting, and transmuting all of those feelings and emotions that are attached to the trauma, the experience, or the person. And then, from what I've experienced, forgiveness kind of just naturally flows from that space. So there are two things that I learned to do on my journey to help me forgive. And the first thing is take all the pressure off to think that this has to happen, that we have to forgive. For some reason, we have to forgive. We have to take that pressure off. The second thing is to see if we can isolate that moment or that blanket emotion over the experience or with that person, and see if we can identify and really step into and really kind of relive, if you will, if you can, that emotion or those feelings. And I have done one of two things to dissipate. So that is the acknowledging and the accepting part. And the transmuting part is one of two things. Either breathing deeply into the feeling that you are having, deeply breathing into it. Sometimes we feel things in our heart, sometimes we feel things, a lot of times I feel things in my solar plexus. Breathing deeply into not the person, not the experience, but really the feeling and the emotions attached to all of that, and see if we can deeply breathe into it. I find the best time to do this is not when I'm feeling great and when I'm not thinking about it. It's when I'm in the laundry room, my sacred laundry room, and a memory pops up and a feeling and then an emotion and everything just washes over me. That's when I stop what I'm doing and I go and I breathe through it and I acknowledge it's there and I allow it to be there and I breathe through it. That's one of the things I do. The other thing I do, which I've used so much, which has completely changed all of my limiting beliefs, I would say, and all the repressed emotions that I found difficult to pull up before kind of going through the meditations, is tapping. Tapping is an amazing way, and I've done another video on Tuesday's Transformational Tip on tapping. So if you want to go back and check that out, you can. Tapping on the points to really detach the emotion from the memory, basically, to really take the emotional content, the emotional charge out of that memory, out of that. So I've found those two things. Now I mostly use, I will say, breathing through it, breathing deeply through it and allowing it to dissipate. I would say most of it is just looking at it, acknowledging and accepting. That's kind of the difficult part sometimes. We have this fear of turning around and looking at our emotions. Start small. I started really, really small. Things that I could handle, things that weren't too big of a deal. And then as I got confidence in the process, I allowed myself to go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Because if we try and just wrestle ourselves into forgiveness, it's kind of like putting the cart before the horse. We need to take care of ourselves first, forgive ourselves, address the emotions that we even feel towards ourselves for getting ourselves into those situations. And then from that flows this compassion and this perspective of everyone is doing their best. We all want to be happy. We're only doing what we can with what we know. We're all doing that, but it's kind of hard to have that perspective and that understanding when we still are holding on to all the emotional content. But so if we let that go, if we allow that to, I never liked that when people said let it go. What does that mean, let it go? It just means what I said. Turn around, go inward, acknowledge, accept. And the emotion just goes wherever it came from. We don't actually have to let it go. When we put our focus on an emotion and when we breathe through it and allow that space, it just kind of dissipates and goes back wherever it came from. That's what let it go means. And so it's not easy in the beginning, but if we keep at it and we keep going, it does bear many beautiful fruits. My lipstick's making me sticky. My gloss. It does bear many fruits. And some of those fruits are a different perspective and a different experience in all the different areas of our life, like our health and our finances and our vision and our purpose in life. These things start to pop up when we create that spaciousness inside of dissipating those emotions and those feelings. We allow for something bigger to drop in, bigger, a vision, things that we didn't realize we were good at that are actually something important to bring forward. There are many jewels, many fruits that forgiveness bears that I would encourage you to try it. I invite you to try it and see what happens. And yes, it will be difficult in the beginning, but it will get easier. And from experience, it has given me so much more than I could have ever imagined. And it has helped me to just become so much closer to myself and have really cultivated that relationship with myself that has brought up confidence, that has brought up confidence, just confidence in my ability in the world to do what my vision is calling me to do. So that is Tuesday's transformational tip. I really hope that it serves you, because I promised myself I would do this if I ever felt better. And I do feel a lot better over the last 10 years. And that journey is in another video. We won't talk about it right now. But for now, I will say thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful Tuesday. And I will be back next Tuesday with another Tuesday's transformational tip. Mwah. Bye.